Let's play a game. Imagine your funeral. Who will be there? Relatives checking their watches? Friends wondering what to wear to work tomorrow? A partner who might find a replacement in just a year? No matter how much they love you, the moment the coffin lid slams shut, you'll be left there completely alone. It's scary, isn't it? We spend our entire lives trying to escape this feeling. We surround ourselves with noise, people, phone notifications. We enter into relationships we don't need just so we don't have to fall asleep in an empty bed. We have children, so we'll have someone to hand us a glass of water. But here's the harsh truth they don't tell you in romantic movies. You were born alone, you die alone, and most of the time in between, you spend alone too. Even if you're married, even if you're the life of the party. Science confirms your fear. Research shows that chronic loneliness increases the risk of premature death by 26%. It's more dangerous than obesity and comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Your body literally collapses from the feeling of isolation. But what if I told you that your problem isn't that you're lonely? Your problem is that you think of it as a disease that needs to be cured. You try to plug the hole in your chest with other people, but they fall into it like an abyss. In this video, we won't console you with the sweet lie that your soulmate is out there. We'll do something far more terrifying. We'll look your loneliness in the eye. We'll examine it from the perspective of evolution, psychology, and Stoic philosophy. And perhaps by the end of this video, you'll understand why loneliness is the only thing you truly have. Subscribe to the Not What It Seems channel. Click the bell. Here we tell the truth, no matter how bitter it may be. Make yourself comfortable. We're beginning our journey into the void. Illusions dissipate here. You're on the Soul Alchemy channel. Click the bell if you're not afraid to discover the truth. Take a breath and get comfortable. Our journey into the void begins right now.
Why does loneliness cause physical pain? Why, when your phone is silent all day, do you feel a heaviness in your chest, like a heart attack? The answer lies in our past. Thousands of years ago, being alone meant death, literally. Our ancestors, exiled from their tribes, couldn't survive on the savannah. They didn't have claws like a lion or speed like a cheetah. Their only weapon was the group. So evolution hardwired our brains with a cruel mechanism. As soon as you distance yourself from the tribe, your body sounds an alarm. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is released. Your body screams, "Get back to your people or you'll be eaten." The pain of loneliness isn't depression, it's a survival instinct. It's a phantom ache for a tribe that no longer exists. We live in a world where physical death from loneliness doesn't threaten us. You can live your whole life in an apartment, ordering food and working remotely. You won't be eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. But your ancient brain doesn't understand that. It continues to panic. It sees an empty apartment and triggers a biochemical reaction designed for survival in the jungle. The irony of the modern world is that we've never been so connected and never so alone. We live in 20-story anthills. We jostle on the subway. We see thousands of faces on our Instagram feed. But you can't fool the brain. It doesn't need likes. It needs a deep emotional connection, oxytocin, a sense of security. And we don't have that. We're surrounded by digital ghosts. You're texting someone, but you don't hear their intonation. You don't see their eyes. It's a surrogate. It's like drinking salt water when you're dying of thirst. You drink, but the thirst only grows stronger. You feel like an outsider at this party of life. You think everyone else has some secret club you're not allowed into. But the truth is, there is no club. All those smiling people on social media stare at the ceiling in the evenings with the same gnawing feeling of emptiness. They're just better at pretending.
The biggest lie our culture has sold us is the myth of the soulmate. The idea that you're a broken being, half of an apple, and somewhere out there someone will perfectly fit your split and make you whole. In ancient Greece, the philosopher Plato described the legend of the androgynes, creatures with 4 arms and 2 faces who were split in half by the gods. And ever since, each half has been searching for its other half. A beautiful fairy tale, and incredibly toxic, because it makes you believe I'm unhappy because I'm alone. When I find her or him, it will all go away. The longing will disappear. And you do. You enter into a relationship. The first 6 months are a hormonal frenzy, a dopamine storm. You feel like the hole in your soul has healed. But a year passes, the hormones subside, and one morning you wake up next to this person, look at their back, and realize you're still alone. It turns out that having another person in the room doesn't cure existential loneliness. In fact, being alone together is a far more terrible torture than being alone in an empty apartment. When you're alone, you have hope that someone will come and save you. When you're with someone and the feeling of isolation doesn't go away, hope dies. Psychologists call this existential isolation. Look, here's the brutal fact. No one, ever, under any circumstances, will be able to understand you 100%. You have your own unique set of memories, traumas, and associations. Your color red may differ from your partner's color red. Your pain is unique. Even if you explain your feelings in the most precise terms, the other person will hear them through the filter of their own experience. There will always be an unbridgeable gap between you and anyone else. You can build bridges, hold hands across this abyss, shout words of love to each other, but you will never merge into one. You are locked inside your skull, forever. And once you accept this fact, you will feel better. You will stop demanding the impossible from your partner, to become you or to fully understand you. You will stop blaming your loved ones for not listening. They do. They just aren't you. There are 2 wonderful words in the English language, loneliness and solitude. They both translate into Russian as loneliness, but their meanings are opposite. Loneliness is the pain of being alone. It's a feeling of lack, inadequacy, abandonment. It's when you want to be with someone but can't. It's a state of victimhood. Solitude is the enjoyment of being alone. It's completeness, self-sufficiency, freedom. It's when you choose to be with yourself because you find yourself interesting. Most people get stuck in the first state. Why? Because they hate themselves. Think about it. If you're bored when you're alone, then you're in bad company. If you're frantically looking for someone to call just to avoid hearing your own thoughts, then your thoughts are toxic. You're running from your inner critic, from your fears, from your conscience. People use other people as an anesthetic. Entertain me, comfort me, fill my emptiness. This is parasitism. True maturity begins when you learn to transform loneliness into solitude. Stoics like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius spoke of autarky, the inner self-sufficiency of the sage. This doesn't mean retreating to a cave and becoming a hermit. It means that your happiness and peace of mind are not dependent on external factors. "I am never less alone than when I am alone," said Cicero. Great ideas aren't born in a crowd. In a crowd, panic or herd instinct is born. Creativity, insight, dialogue with God or the universe, all of this happens only in silence. Solitude is the price we pay for depth. You fear loneliness because it, like a mirror, shows you the truth about yourself. In silence, all your masks fall away. You see who you really are without the social roles of good employee or caring son. And this can be an unpleasant sight, but it's the only way to get to know yourself.
Let's go back to the beginning, to death. Why is the thought that we die alone so frightening? Because death is a moment of absolute crystalline truth. At that moment, it doesn't matter how many followers you have, what your status is, or what your neighbors think of you. At that moment, everything external disappears. only your I remains. If you've spent your whole life running from this I, if you've built your identity solely on reflections in other people's eyes, then at the moment of death, you will feel yourself disappearing. Because there was no you. There was only a function in society. But if you've learned to be alone, if you've built an inner core, death ceases to be so terrifying. The Stoics practiced Memento Mori, remember death, not to become depressed, but to cut off the unnecessary. Imagine you're a spaceship. While you're in orbit, you're surrounded by other ships, communications with mission control and space debris. But one day, you'll have to go into deep space, where there's no radio reception. If your ship is empty, if there's nothing inside but a receiver for alien signals, it's a disaster. But if your ship contains an entire world, a library, a garden, music, your thoughts and values, then a flight into the darkness becomes an exploration, not a tragedy. You will be alone until death. That's a fact. Your path is yours alone. No one will walk it for you. No one will bear your cross. No one will feel your toothache. It sounds cruel, but there's also great liberation in it. If no one can live your life for you, then no one has the right to tell you how to live it. Your solitude is your sovereignty, your independence. You are the sole author, the sole actor, and the sole spectator of a play called Your Life. The rest are just invited guests who come and go. Stop clinging to guests. Get busy setting up your own theater. How do we stop suffering and start living with this truth? We need practice. Just as you build muscles in the gym, you need to build the solitude muscle. Here's a simple yet terrifying practice. Try spending one day without digital crutches. No phone, no music in your headphones, no books, no conversations. Just you and the world, you and your room. Walk through the park without a podcast in your ears. Sit in a chair and just look out the window for 30 minutes. First, the withdrawal will set in. Your brain will scream for dopamine. Anxious thoughts, old grievances, and fears will surface. You'll want to quit. Don't quit. Look at these thoughts like clouds. Let them float by. Don't judge them. Oh, I remembered that embarrassing moment in 3rd grade. Interesting. Oh, I'm scared for the future. I see. Once you've weathered this storm, you'll find yourself in the eye of the storm. Silence will descend. Not an empty, dead silence, but a ringing, full silence of presence. You'll suddenly notice how the light falls on the table, what the tea tastes like, how your body truly feels. You'll begin to hear your own voice, not your mother's voice, not the voice of society, not a blogger's voice, but your own. Become your own friend. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius, "You ask what I've achieved? I've become my own friend. Now I'll never be alone." Become the kind of person you find interesting. Develop yourself. Read, not just for show, but for your own intelligence. Create something. Fill your inner world so that you don't need to desperately seek someone outside. And then a paradox will occur. As soon as you stop needing people as a cure for boredom, people will be drawn to you. Because a self-sufficient person is magnetic. They have a secret. They have strength. You want to be near them to warm yourself by their inner fire. A relationship built by two self-sufficient individuals is a union of two strong personalities, not two cripples leaning on each other. You will be alone until death. Yes, it's true. The risk of premature death from loneliness exists, but this risk threatens those who perceive loneliness as a phenomenon, as stress, as a tragedy. For a Stoic, loneliness is not a diagnosis, it is the fundamental state of human existence. You have a choice. You can spend the rest of your life knocking on closed doors, begging for crumbs of attention and love, crying because no one understands you. You can die of boredom in a crowd. Or you can embrace your loneliness as a gift, as a royal robe, not a prison uniform. You can transform your life into a masterpiece, which, yes, you create alone, but that makes it no less beautiful. In the end, we are all lonely ships on a vast ocean. We can signal each other with horns, we can sail parallel courses for a time, but the helm is in your hands alone, and where to sail is yours to decide. Stop fearing the darkness within you. Enter it, settle in there, turn on the light, and you will see that there is no one there but you, and that is more than enough. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. If this video touched you deeply, if you felt a response in your inner emptiness, write in the comments, "I choose freedom." Let's see how many of us strong loners there are. Join the Soul Alchemy community. Let your like be more than just a number in a statistic, but an agreement with what you've seen. Practice art. Be one with yourself. Until then, it's beyond words.